The morning dew still clung to emerald leaves as Alara moved silently through her forest domain. Her silvery blue skin shimmered faintly in dappled sunlight, camouflaging perfectly with the mist rising from the forest floor. As guardian of the eastern boundaries, she took her responsibilities seriously, especially protecting her people from the greatest threat they'd ever known: humans. "Remember, child," her grandmother had told her countless times, "humans are destroyers. They tear down ancient trees for temporary shelters. They hunt without respect. They poison rivers with their strange potions. Stay hidden, stay safe." For 200 years, Alara had heeded this warning. Her forest home remained one of the last untouched wildernesses, protected by ancient magic and the vigilance of her kind. The Silvani had lived in harmony with these woods since before humans developed speech, their lifespans intertwined with the ancient trees they guarded. Alara paused, her pointed ears twitching. Something disturbed the forest's edge, an unfamiliar scent carried on the breeze, not animal, not Silvani. Human. Her heart quickened as she melted into the trunk of a massive oak. From this vantage point, she could observe without being seen. The human appeared at the forest boundary, stepping carefully over fallen branches. To her surprise, he didn't carry the metal sticks that spat fire and death. Instead, he held only a small leather-bound book and what appeared to be a collection pouch. He was taller than she expected, with sun-kissed skin and hair the color of autumn leaves. Unlike the brutish monsters described in Silvani tales, this human moved with careful precision, his eyes scanning the ground rather than the trees where valuable furs might hide. Alara watched, curiosity overcoming fear, as the human knelt beside a cluster of rare moonlight orchids. Instead of plucking them carelessly, he simply observed, sketching their delicate structure in his book with gentle strokes. His reverence for the flowers seemed genuine. "Absolutely magnificent," he whispered, his voice carrying in the quiet forest. "I've never seen such a healthy cluster growing wild." The human, Kieran, she would later learn, spent nearly an hour documenting the flowers, taking small soil samples and recording observations in his book. Not once did he disturb the orchids themselves. His behavior contradicted everything she'd been taught about humans. When a twig snapped beneath Alara's foot, Kieran looked up sharply. For one breathless moment, their eyes met across the clearing, his warm brown gaze locking with her luminescent silver eyes. "Hello there," he called softly, raising an empty hand in greeting. "I didn't realize anyone was here." Panic surged through Alara's body. Contact with humans was strictly forbidden. Exposure meant danger for her entire community. She backed away, her camouflage intensifying until only her outline remained visible against the forest backdrop. "Wait, please," Kieran called, his voice tinged with wonder rather than malice. "I mean no harm, I'm just studying the flora, my name is." But Alara had already fled, moving swiftly through the underbrush with supernatural grace. Only when she reached the heart of the forest did she pause, her breath coming in short gasps, not from exertion but from the forbidden thrill of their encounter. That night, as luminous fungi cast their glow upon the Silvani settlement nestled within hollow ancient trees, Alara couldn't banish the human's face from her thoughts. His gentle handling of the moonlight orchids, the wonder in his voice, the kindness in his eyes, none matched the monsters from her childhood lessons. "You seem troubled, daughter," her father noted as they shared evening nectar. "Did something happen during your patrol?" Alara hesitated, the truth dancing on her tongue. Instead, she simply replied, "The forest feels different today." Indeed it did. For the first time in her long life, Alara wondered if perhaps her people had been wrong about humans all along. For 3 days, Alara avoided the eastern boundary, yet thoughts of the strange human lingered like morning mist. On the 4th day, her curiosity overcame caution. Disguising her patrol route, she returned to the clearing where they'd met. To her surprise, the human, Kieran, had returned. He sat cross-legged beside the moonlight orchids, sketching their luminescent petals with remarkable precision. A small solar-powered lamp provided gentle illumination as dusk approached. Concealed behind ancient bark, Alara studied him. Unlike her people's tales of greedy, destructive monsters, this human documented nature with reverence. When a small woodland creature approached him cautiously, Kieran remained perfectly still, offering a seed from his palm without demanding the animal's trust. For 2 weeks, Alara observed his daily visits. Each time, Kieran brought nothing but his notebooks and gentle curiosity. He spoke softly to plants as he sketched them, sometimes sharing observations with no one but the forest itself. The symbiotic relationship between these orchids and the phosphorescent fungi is remarkable, he murmured one afternoon. They shouldn't thrive together according to conventional botany, yet here they are, defying scientific understanding. On the 15th day, disaster struck. As Kieran ventured deeper into the forest following a trail of rare fungi, his foot caught in a cruel metal trap, not of Silvani making, but placed by human poachers who occasionally ventured where they shouldn't. His agonized cry pierced the forest silence. Blood seeped from his ankle where steel teeth bit mercilessly into flesh. From her hiding place, Alara watched him struggle to free himself, his face contorted with pain. "Help," he called weakly, though no human would hear him this deep in protected lands. Every teaching warned against revealing herself to humans. Every rule forbade interference. Yet as Kieran's strength ebbed, his skin paling with each passing moment, something within Alara rebelled against generations of caution. Moving silently, she emerged from concealment. Kieran's eyes widened at her appearance, her luminescent skin, elongated features, and ethereal presence unmistakably non-human. "Am I hallucinating?" he whispered, pain making his voice tremble. Without answering, Alara knelt beside the trap. Her slender fingers worked deftly, finding the hidden mechanism and releasing the spring. As the jaws loosened, Kieran gasped with relief. "Thank you," he managed through gritted teeth. Whoever you are." Blood continued flowing from his wound. He wouldn't survive the journey back to human lands. With a decision that would change both their worlds forever, Alara gathered healing herbs from her pouch and began treating his injury. "I'm called Kieran," he said softly, watching her work with expert precision. "I won't harm you." After a long silence, as she bound his ankle with leaves that glowed with healing magic, Alara finally spoke. "I am Alara, and you are nothing like the monsters in our stories." Kieran couldn't return to the human settlement with his injury, so Alara constructed a hidden shelter using fallen branches and her natural magic. For 6 days, she tended his wound, applying Silvani healing poultices that accelerated his recovery far beyond human medicine's capabilities. "Your people believe we're monsters?" Kieran asked on the 3rd evening, moonlight filtering through the canopy above their shelter. Alara nodded, arranging fresh herbs over his improving wound. "Our histories tell of humans cutting ancient trees, polluting sacred waters, killing without need." "Some humans do those things," Kieran admitted, wincing as the healing herbs stung. "But not all of us. I've dedicated my life to understanding plants, not destroying them." As days passed, their conversations deepened. Kieran shared his work developing sustainable alternatives to deforestation. Alara cautiously revealed aspects of Silvani culture, their 1,000-year lifespans, their symbiotic relationship with the forest, their ability to communicate with plants on a cellular level. "We don't own the forest," she explained, silver eyes reflecting starlight. "We are its guardians, its voice when it cannot speak." One evening, as Kieran regained strength to stand, their hands brushed while sharing forest berries. The unexpected contact sent warmth coursing through Alara's ancient blood. When their eyes met, something unspoken passed between them, a connection transcending their different worlds. Their peaceful existence shattered the next morning when Alara sensed disturbance at the edge of her awareness. Silvani scouts approached. Simultaneously, unfamiliar human voices echoed from the opposite direction, harsh voices unlike Kieran's gentle tones. "Poachers," Kieran whispered, recognizing their callous laughter. "And they're using my research trails to navigate deeper than before." Torn between worlds, Alara made a desperate choice. "You must hide, my people cannot find you here." Before he could respond, she pressed her palm against a massive oak. The trunk shifted, creating a hollow space. "Inside, quickly." Kieran obeyed just as 3 Silvani warriors emerged from the underbrush, led by Alara's cousin Thorn. Their expressions hardened seeing Alara away from her assigned territory. "The forest whispers of intrusion," Thorn stated coldly. "Human scents near our sacred groves, and now I find you here where you should not be." "I tracked human movements," Alara responded, not entirely untruthful. "Poachers seek rare specimens. They threaten the northern boundaries." From his hiding place, Kieran listened as Alara diverted her people away from both himself and the approaching poachers. When they departed, he emerged, understanding dawning in his eyes. "You risked everything just now," he said quietly. "Why?" Alara's gaze met his, conflict evident in her luminescent features. "Because I'm beginning to question what makes someone a monster, their origin or their actions." That night under an ancient willow, their lips met in a tentative, forbidden kiss that tasted of moonlight and possibility. Two worlds colliding like gentle thunder.